the aim of preaching is not just that people have bigger brains or that they're better behaved. The aim of preaching is a heart that has a passion for Christ, that you would see dead hearts made alive in Christ, that you would see awakened hearts strengthened by grace. And so I'm aiming for people to worship Jesus. That's the main thing I'm going for. So that means in my preaching, I need to worship. I know from experience, having been a part of churches that were intentionally wanting to reach the lost. That's their motivation, which is good and godly and sincere. And then when people come in, they're preaching messages that are largely practical application, which has a place in sermons. But when the sermon itself is substantively just practical application, if my intended target is unbelievers, I'm giving law to unbelievers, under the guise of I'm trying to make the Bible relevant, or I'm trying to make Christianity look practical so that people will be attracted to it. But essentially I'm getting the cart before the horse. Yeah. And even that approach was kind of a pendulum swing or a response to legalistic or judgmental kind of preaching. And I thought, well, that, I can't bring my lost friends to hear things like that. So, I'm not going to preach like that. That's just too legal with all the thou shalt nots and don't do this and don't do that. And so what they did was they got more positive. We got more casual. We loosened things up. And instead of telling people, don't do all these things or you're going to go to hell, we started saying, do all of these things so you can be more successful, you can be happier or whatever it is. And I didn't realize in the midst of that I wasn't any less legalistic.
You just changed.
I just changed. I just went to positive law instead of negative law. Yeah. I thought that, man, we're really being gracious. We're being evangelistic and missional, despite the fact that you're rarely hearing the word Jesus, unless it's in the the moral example kind of category. Jesus was nice, so you be nice, or Jesus was bold, so you be bold. Those sorts of things. And I just didn't understand that even in the best intentions, wanting to reach the lost, that I'm basically giving to hearts of stone this message of be better, do better, try harder. And it's not getting them any closer to salvation. And if anything, in the best case scenario, it drives them into a kind of despair where they hunger for the real gospel. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is you get people that become well-behaved pagans.